Good morning, everyone. I've got to show you this outfit, because I'm actually going to go to school wearing this outfit. I've got my little Christmas tree vest on, and I have my tree skirt. This actually is a tree skirt pattern, and I converted it into my little skirt, and then my leggings, which are trees. So I'm a tree with a tree skirt on today. The kiddos will love it. This week we are dressing in different kinds of outfits, to bring the holiday cheer into the building. But I'm here today to discuss quilting. So I had gotten this book in my Soft Squares Advent box, and this is by Wendy Shepherd, and I've already made the sheep quilt, and I'm working now on this quilt called Deck the Halls. So while I'm doing that, I use my fabric from my swap that I'm in, and I got 2 trees per layer cake square. They're 10-inch squares, so I got 2 trees per square. So that was kind of cool. Here's this other one. I think I showed you this one. Let me move this a little bit this way. So this one, and I'm going to do a quick tutorial on my block, on how to do this block. And some of these are directional fabric, you just got to go with the flow. So like currently, if I show you this, Santa's upside down, but if I put it in the quilt, it's going to go like this. And then Santa isn't upside down. So when you have directional fabric, one of these trees is correct, like this one, and one isn't. But I will absolutely, like this one isn't. But when I place it in the quilt, it will be like this and will be fine. At least I hope so. Guess we'll see. Here we go. Just wanted to show you my trees. Very cute. I am very happy with my trees. Again, if you are a swapper with me in that group that I'm in, you may have, if you don't see your fabric, it's because I got so many squares. I'm making another quilt, so I will put those fabrics into good use. So those are my, and then this is the back. So I will spend the day, pulling off the paper. Okay, at some point today. So this is the fabric I'll be working with right now to show you how to make it. So you print your pattern out, and I have it printed right here. And so this is what I do. I have a little station here, my iron going. I take my paper, and I'm not a big paper piecing because I don't like to take the paper off, and as a matter of fact, Crystal Hart just made a paper quilt, and I said to her, yeah, I tried doing that and I lost interest within like an hour, and I don't like it. But I actually enjoyed this one. I don't know if it's because it's bigger pieces, and so they're not so hard. So I go ahead and take some kind of paper, follow the line. Then I come over, kind of dent them back up a little. And now these are my lines. I will take my 10-inch square. Again, this is what I do. Face up. And about 1/4 of an inch. Come and line it. And then I take my background fabric. And I am just using, again, random pieces of white on white. This is a totally scrappy quilt, since my 10-inch squares are scrappy, so will be the back. And I kind of line that up. And then I like to use these when I piece without paper. I tried to use them, they were bendy, and I love them. My favorite pins. But I also bought these recently from the same company, and they're a little thicker and they have a flatter head, and I found that these worked perfect for paper piecing. So I'm using these for paper piecing. Now I flip it over I've got a little pin on there, and I'm going to come in here and I am going to sew on the line past the little 1/4 inch border. Let me move you here so you could see better. Now, I take my pin out, I flap this over, and now we have this. And I come in here, I have my iron over here. So let me take you over here. This is my little setup right now. I always have a different setup. And then I'm gonna move my little iron and all my pieces here so I can free up my table a little. And I'm going to come here, take this, and I have a regular ruler, and I go to the line. Let me see if I could, you know what, I'm going to pull this over here so that you could see it a little better because I'm flat. So here is the line. I'm going to take my ruler, kind of line it up, and I lop that off. I put my pieces of paper in this little trash, and here we go. I have that side. Now I come here, grab my little card. It's just a piece of cardboard. And I have a ruler called Add a Quarter. And these come in a couple sizes. I have a smaller one when I'm doing smaller projects. This is a big one. I bought this probably a year ago, never used it. And you know what? I'm using it for this project. So I'm glad I got it because that little one is tiny. All right. So now I flip it over and I have this. Now I'm going to come in with this. Sit that down. I'm going to show you how I line this up. So I take this end. Now in the pattern, it does tell you to cut these pieces a certain size, but I found that there was a lot of waste, and if I did it their way, I wouldn't be able to get 2 trees. So I was being frugal with it, and this is the way I chose to do it, to be frugal. I put my pin in. I just am double checking. Oh, you see? This is why I'm double checking, because I had it wrong. And now, and this is why we double check. I put in my pin, look over. Yes. Sometimes the white on white is hard to see. I'm going to come over, eyeball it, and now pull that out, pull out my pin. I'm going to come on over here and take my little iron this back. And I'm going to take, let's bring this up here so you can see again. Pull this out and going to grab my ruler, line up where that line is. And it didn't go through in one spot, so this is not a problem. Just come on in. And I have this. Now I'm going to come in here and I'm going to cut not on the dotted lines, but on the solid line. So I would come in here line it up. And now this has a weird angle, and I found it kind of works best if I do the two, pull these out, and then one. And I have this block. And then I just have these random little pieces, and I just put them in my crumb pile. And here we go, we have that. Now it's time to do the bottom of the tree. So I have this one piece that I said put in the crumb. Well, that's not really gonna happen because that's gonna be my tree trunk. So now I take my tree trunk section of this block. I come in again with my piece of paper. This is my method. There's many other methods. I'm gonna come in and just give myself. All right. So I'm going to my best ability, find the spot to center that. And then I come in again with my cardboard and add my 1/4 inch, close it, open this up. I'm going to use a different, here we go, that's the side. I'm going to use a different piece here. And honestly, this piece I am going to cut. This is way too wild and big. So I'm going to make this a little smaller by half since this is going to be the tree trunk. And I am going to put that here. And pull this out. I bring it over since the sew line is here. Flip this. And we're going to cut that. Come back over here again. Take out my pin. I'm going to iron. Take my board. Now normally I don't move my board around. I'm moving my board around right now just so that you guys can see it, since you can't see it there from the bottom. So now I'm going to come on this line here. And I'm going to cut. And there's a little piece. Oops. It's very forgiving. I need to slop off this side here. Okay, so now I have that. Now I'm going to come in here, flip this over, come with my little card, flip that over, grab my add a 1/4, cut that off, flip this over, bring it over again, and now I will place that there with the pin over here. And before I do that though, I just want to make sure that I have enough, which I do, to cover where this spot is. All right, and I'm going to bring this over to here. Take my pin out. I'm going to bring you back. I'm going to iron. then I'm going to cut this off. And you have to make sure that these wings, you don't want to cut anything off that's strange. So I'm going to come in here and cut this way first. And then I'm going to rotate this. And I have a rotating mat. It's just, I don't have it with me right now. It's in my sewing bag, my travel sewing bag right now. And now we have this piece. So I have this piece and I have this piece. So what I do, I found it was the easiest was to push this in half and make a little crease, and take this and put this in half and make a crease. Now if I was to do this again, I would actually mark this on my pattern before I copied it. Then this way I had mark lines to follow. But since I didn't do that and I didn't figure that out till afterwards, it's a good trick for me to do next time. So I come in here, I put the pin right there in the center, have the two pieces. I go ahead and sew on that dotted line, and I cut. And then here you go. So before I iron this though, I want you to see something here. Let's move this here. See this piece? I fold this way. I bring it back and I take off just this piece here, this right here. Before I go ahead and iron that seam over, it's just easier, then I don't have to mess with this paper later on. And I go ahead and now this part is free, and so when I iron this, all I have to worry about is taking out these big ones. So here we go. I've taken that paper out there, come over and iron. And now I have a full tree. Now this is the back, and what I did is I use a 1.6 inch stitch length to make this easier to rip out. When I first started quilting, I made a strings quilt using paper, and I got so annoyed and frustrated because I had a big stitch. I had a very fine needle, a bigger needle, it's a better hole punch. And I got so frustrated that I just didn't even take the paper off. Nope. I just quilted that paper right in and washed the quilt. And after time, it just kind of disintegrated and became part of the batting. Now, I don't recommend that. I'm just saying, I did do it. I did do it. It was fine. It was fine. It was a learning curve. I was definitely not pulling all that paper out, but as you can see, this paper is easy to come off because I have a smaller stitch, a thicker needle. I think I have like a leather needle or a denim needle in there. And there you go. You have your block. So that's like the part one of it. There is another block to make in this book, and I got to tell you, I've got to figure out an easy way because I cannot sew all those little, I'm going to talk about like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pieces, little pieces to make a quarter square triangle. I'm not quite sure. I'll show you in the next video when I figure out a simpler way to make it. Pretty sure there's got to be a hack or something like that. But anyway, hope everyone has a fabulous day. Please take care of yourself, pass it forward, and if you like my channel, please subscribe and like my video. I love to hear from you all, and have a fabulous day. Bye.